The angels were wreaking havoc, their divine weapons cutting through buildings and demons alike. The chaos was all-consuming and perfect for you. Flapping your wings, you jumped up onto the second floor of a burning building, skillfully crawling under the smoke. Your claws tearing open drawers, searching for anything scavengeable. You gave yourself 2 minutes per room. After all, you weren't sure how the fire had advanced so far. Until finally your claws found something intriguing. A bunch of jewelry. You took out your monocle. Fake, fake, fake. You threw the ones that were worth nothing behind yourself. Until finally... Sweet. It was a silver ring with an actual ruby on it. Kinda pretty, maybe worth something. You stuffed it into your pocket. As a thief, the purge was your Christmas. Demons spent their time in shelters, basements, or running on the streets, as no one wanted to be trapped inside their apartments. Well, maybe there were other burglars around. Of course, there were other things here too, but you were stupid enough to steal a big heavy TV in the middle of an extermination. You knew a fence that dealt with primarily precious gems, a sinner-born griffin demon. They loved the stuff. You snuck into the next apartment, peeking inside. Not a good hit. Looked like a gamer cave. I'm sure maybe you could get a console out of this, but similar to the TV, it was a little too bulky and heavy. Though, then your eyes fell on a small mobile one. Okay, maybe you could take the mobile console. Looking left to right, you barged in, grabbing the thing and shoving it into your bag. It just barely fit. To remain quick on your feet, you refused to wear a big backpack. All you had was a shoulder bag. Thanks to your claws being able to function as lockpicks, you didn't need any equipment. Plus, in the chaos outside, it didn't matter the mess or noise you made. So kicking indoors was preferred anyways. With nimble movements, you slithered around crushed furniture, debris, and you almost stepped on a rusty nail. You sidestepped, and crack. You fell at least through 2 stories of the building until you landed back first in a bathtub. Your body was in terrible pain, especially as a piece of wood poked out of your stomach from behind. Scared, barely managing to breathe, your survival instincts kicked in. With one strong pull, you threw yourself out of the tub. The wood still impaling you. You crawled on your knees, supported by your elbows, out of the building, down a few stairs. Just in time, as you had just regained your composure, before the building collapsed. Ironically, being buried under the rubble might be the safest place to be right now, but that was besides the point. You had trouble breathing with a hole through your chest. The pain was so strong you almost passed out. Maybe you did. But then again, the pain was so strong you woke back up again. Inhaling as much as you could, you pushed the wood out of your body, causing a fountain of blood to erupt from it. But you were a demon. You'd survive this. Sure, you might not be an overlord and could not instantly heal, but you had powers that could do that. You'd be fine. You just needed to be on the move. Dragging your body through the rubble-filled streets, you tried staying away from the noises of combat. You hid away in an alley, stuffing your torn body back into place, before activating your ability. A thin, black puff of smoke came through your wound, causing it to heal right in front of your eyes. Kinda gross and incredibly painful. You were a cat demon, meaning your body was covered in a thin layer of black fur. You had beautiful green glowing cat eyes, and whiskers which by now were almost completely singed away. Though you did shave your chest and rear almost daily to keep a semi-human form. Also twice per week you needed to wax, just to be sure. It just was more useful as a woman to have a more conventionally exposed chest and behind. Though this did mean you needed to wear shirts and pants, but the trade-off was easily acceptable. At least this way you could attract anyone. You had grey bat wings, though you wished that you had feathered ones, like the males of your species. You also had a long, thin tail with an almost brush-like bushy white tip. The only fur on your body that was white. The ability that you had just used was commonly referred to as 9 lives. It allowed you to fully regenerate your body 9 times per day. It was very handy, especially since cat demons kept the ability very secret. If you wanted, you could recover from just being ahead in minutes with this. The only permanent wounds on a cat demon came from divine energy, or metal. As such, the angels were your one true counter. You breathed heavily, before brushing over your head with your paws. You sighed, spreading your wings to fly atop the building you were standing next to get a better vantage point. However, as you took flight and landed on the roof, you bumped into 2 angels. "Oh hey kitty," mused one of them. Your eyes widened, horrified. It were Adam and Lute, the 2 commanders of the invading angels. Ugh, just your luck. Lute had her spear raised to throw it at you, but Adam held up his hand. "Aw, Lute, come on, let me at least talk to her for a bit." She grunted, lowering her weapon, crossing her arms reluctantly. "It's been a while, kitty." "Yeah, a year," you huffed. Yeah. So much time. Really wish it was a little less. He clicked his tongue. "Hey, tell me, how have you been?" Your eyes switched from his grinning face and Lute's annoyed expression. "Well, I suppose I've been getting by." He clapped his hands. "Ah, well, kitty, that's great to hear. Sadly, I have to kill you now." He made a finger gun, pointing it at you. Bang! A light flash echoed loudly over the rooftops of the city. And a second later, both angels looked at you impressed. You just barely managed to press yourself against the ground. "Ah!" Adam nodded. "Can I please kill her now?" complained Lute. Adam chuckled. "Just answer me this one thing. Are you still up for fucking later?" Standing back up, you crossed your arms, scoffing. I mean, I suppose," you said. "Ah, great." Adam clapped his hands, causing a shockwave that almost threw you back on the ground. Extermination's in 30 minutes, right?" he asked, looking at Lute. 27 minutes, Adam, sir." Okay. Good luck, kitty." "You'll need it." The moment he said "needed," you turned and jumped off the building, with more light flashes of divine power shooting past you. Bang! 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 It was pure divinity. As such, it only hurt demons and didn't destroy any scenery. Spreading your wings, you managed to dodge Adam's attacks. Just the last one managed to hit your tail, causing it to turn into a steaming puff of smoke. The pain made you cringe, causing you to crash land right into a bunch of trash cans. As you lied there for a moment, Lute jumped on top of you. "Tell me, do you feel special, bitch?" She stepped the ground next to your head as you rolled out from underneath her. "The fuck do you mean?" you asked breathlessly. "You aren't the only chick he's screwing." You started running, shouting back, "Oh, is the biggest femcock of heaven jealous?" You should not have said that, as the provocation caused the angel to throw her weapon with deadly precision. The spear cut your hip painfully as you ran. The wound burned, blindingly so. It was sheer, unhinged determination that kept you running, though you were slowed down by the pain. You slammed body first against the car. Placing a hand on the cold metal for purchase, you turned around. Lud was diving towards you, already having picked up her weapon. Ugh. In hindsight, you probably should have grabbed the spear yourself after she threw it. Damn your panicking brain. But when Lud was almost in stabbing distance, you raised your foot, putting everything on a single idea to survive. And it was as if time was moving in slow motion. You stepped on the spear's tip, feeling its sharp edges digging into your paw. You bit your own tongue to balance out the pain, so you could keep thinking, you could keep moving. With the next step, you kicked her in the face, jumping over her with a graceful somersault, as Lud's weapon buried into the car. "Damn it, damn it, damn it!" she shouted as she tried to pull it out. But you weren't out of danger yet, as at the end of the street, Adam had landed gracefully. "Come on, Lud, seriously?" he shouted happily, and loud enough for his angel companion to hear. She didn't respond. Raising his finger gun again, Adam smirked. "Man, I'm gonna miss you, Pussycat." Bang! Heaving, growling, heart racing, you climbed out of the sewage of the city. Honestly, if someone had told you that all these sewer holes around the city would save your life one day, or well, unlife, you would have scoffed. You looked up through the hole that had saved your life, jumping down just as Adam was activating his attack. Pressing your wet paw against the wound on your hip, you threw yourself against the slimy, wet wall of the city's sewage system. Rubbing your eyes, you sighed. Fucking Adam. You groaned in pain. It had been 4 years since you first had encountered the guy, during an extermination. He had given you 20 seconds to run before he'd hunt you down, and if you survived, he would give you a little reward. Well, as it turns out, the reward was the pleasure of a night with him. Though, that had been quite a great night. Well, he was the first man to ever walk the earth. If he didn't know how to lay a pipe very well, no one did. It had been so good, in fact, that after every extermination since that you had survived, you visited him in the embassy before he returned to heaven. Of course, this was all pleasure. No romance was between the two of you. He'd never allow that. Well, that maybe was just a tiny sliver of respect. Lud, of course, hated you. Apparently, he had a full-on harem up there in heaven. Not that you cared. Lud being his number one in the harem, however. She viciously defended her title as Adam's favorite. And that's why she was so very dangerous. Remaining in the sewers for the rest of the night, you managed to actually fall asleep. Waking up hours later, you smelled terrible and you felt cold and wet. but you survived. Barely able to walk, you climbed out of the sewers, using the ladder behind you, dragging your sorry ass forward. The chaos in the city surrounding you was terrible but survivable. Your sack full of loot was slowing you down, but made you feel incredibly confident. There was only one place you wanted to be right now, and that's under the warm, luxurious shower of Adam's room in the embassy. You loved the disgusted and occasionally sorrowful faces of the embassy's angels. After all, only about half of them working there were those bitchy exterminators. Though their angry scowls, when you shoved your body past them, always were a delight. Somehow you managed to pull yourself across to the pompous golden building, throwing your shoulder against the door to shove it open. You almost bumped into a blonde demoness who was in tears. "I'm so sorry," she apologized, as if she just caused the apocalypse. You looked after her. She seemed familiar. Huh. Shaking your head, you entered moments later. At the reception sat an angel, a high cherub. Heaven-born angels who had the appearance of overweight toddlers with tiny wings that still allowed them to fly. You slammed your body against the desk. "Hey, Karen," you growled. Confused, the cherub looked at you. She was small, like all cherubs, using 2 long chopsticks to type on her computer, while she floated just above the keyboard. Her blue eyes focused on your green ones. "Survived another year, huh?" "Yeah," you barked. "I'm here for my yearly appointment." She nodded. "Of course, Kitty. Just one problem." She turned the screen to face you. "You're on the list of demons killed during the extermination. Would you like me to call someone?" Angrily, you slumped around the desk, shoving the cherub aside, causing her to protest. "This is a direct attack on embassy grounds and—" You weren't listening anymore. You had typed the number of Adam's room into it. "Hello, Karen. What's shakin', bacon?" "Adam," you growled into the phone impatiently. "Kitty!" "No way! Hey, Harp, get off my dick. I have a guest coming in." There was some audible protest on the other end. No, it's not loot, sweetie, it's someone else." You could hear the word demon whore out of the angry shouts from the angel called Harp, causing you to chuckle. "No, Harp, please don't. Oh, no." And she left. Don't worry, Kitty. Well, I know you don't care, but it's Harp. In a week, she'll be sucking me off like a champ again. "You're always way too far with this stuff, Adam," you gruffed. "What? Gotta enjoy myself. I had a hard day." Get it? Hard day? Adam paused, as if he was a character in a comedy show that said something absolutely hilarious. The angel waited for 10 seconds before saying, "Go on, you get it. It's funny." "I'm coming." "Already? But we haven't even started yet." "Not funny, Adam. I need a shower." "Oh, can I join?" You were silent for a moment. Patiently waited for you to answer. "Maybe." He chuckled before hanging up. You slammed the phone back down. "Well," muttered Karen as she crossed her arms, "I suppose I'll scratch you off the death list then, Miss Kitty." You pointed at a claw at her, accusatory, but you didn't say anything. "Can't think of anything witty to say?" "I had a shit day, alright?" The cherub scoffed before continuing her infuriating typing. Whatever, bitch. You adjusted your bag of loot before shuffling over to the elevator. Adam had his apartment on the 77th floor out of the total of 97 of the embassy's tower. Any floor after 50 was dedicated solely to the living space for a high-ranking angel. As the elevator door opened minutes later, Adam was sitting on his sofa. The apartment filled the entire floor and was beautifully decorated. According to him, it was a more hellish version of his home in heaven. It was a big loft filled with tacky obsidian floor, beautiful white birch wood furniture, and a lot of 70s rock band posters and records on the walls. A zebra pattern carpet was placed square in the middle. He looked at you with a smug grin. Kitty, you... Ew. His face turned upside down. You stink! I jumped into the sewers. You would have cut me otherwise. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Sorry, Kitty. No hard feelings. He snickered. He watched you drop your bag with valuables. Still just a fucking cheat. Still just a fucking thief? You hissed like a cat at this comment. Smugly he crossed his legs, watching you as you shoved your body into the bathroom. This was the only time you got to experience heaven. In the form of a shower, no less. He had scents and shampoos that frankly had no place down here. You turned on the warm water after discarding your clothes. Your favorite shampoo of his was called Childhood Memories. Whatever heaven magic was used on this stuff, it actually smelled like it. You squeezed. According to the shampoo, your favorite childhood moment was some time ago. Well, of course, you had a full adulthood and now a hell life. Everything seemed so distant here. It was the distinct scent of a Christmas tree mixed with the stuffy smell of your grandparents' home, with just a hint of melted wax from lit candles. As you massaged the white, pearly liquid into your scalp, you could practically see the scene in front of your eyes. You as a child, on your knees, opening presents of various sizes. Not all of them were for you, of course. Your family didn't believe in that. But it was up to you to figure out whose present was whose. You stopped for a moment. Your lips quivering. Shit. Your grandpa had still been alive back then. In fact, since his death, your family had stopped buying trees. So it was him who kept the tradition alive, huh? Your lips twitched. There was this chocolate phone in a glass box. That one had been for your dad. You really wanted to eat that, but it was obviously that it was for him. What happened to that thing anyways? You knew he never ate it. Tears of nostalgia mixed with the soapy water running down your cheeks. Unintentionally you mouthed the words, "Is that a PlayStation 2? Yeah, you were a console kid back then. Computers were just these scary machines with all those buttons and only used to do boring adult stuff on. You stared at your feet. watching the bubbles vanish in the drain, together with most of the smell. If you got the time, you should probably play some Spyro again. Your memory slowly faded, and for a few minutes you just let the water cascade on your body. You're forced to smile. At least the grime and dirt and blood was off of your body now. And you felt rejuvenated. Apparently the water in the embassy was holy water. Incredibly deadly for hellborn demons, but apparently very healthy for anything that was heaven-born or was once human. For a time, the embassy had a sort of quarantine entrance, where demons were sprayed with the stuff before they were allowed to be let in, as hellborns weren't allowed. You dried your body with a towel, while throwing your clothes into Adam's clothing chute. You'd pick them up later in the basement, after they were cleaned, and fixed up by whatever cherub was currently in charge. You stepped outside. By now, Adam had taken off his mask and robe. Underneath, he had only worn boxers. Smugly, he grinned at you. "Hey, kitty," he mused. With an almost gentle smile, you approached him, swaying your hips. Smirking, you dropped the towels, kicking them away before sitting down on his lap. An arm wrapped around his shoulders. You purred. "I'm almost glad you survived, kitty." You narrowed your eyes. "Oh, are you, Adam?" "Yeah, almost," he reiterated. But then he pecked the wet fur on your cheek. Divine power was behind it, but not enough to cause anything more than a pleasurable buzzing. "I was hoping you'd tease me a bit today." You gasped as you felt his fingers explore you. Well, kitty, baby, you did kinda blue ball me earlier. So this is the least I can do." His lips pressed onto yours. He wasn't gentle per se, but experienced enough to kiss in a way that he could be dominant without causing distress in you. His tongue leisurely lapping out and stroking against yours. The noise of crackling divinity engulfed your mouth, causing your eyes to roll back. It was a magnificent feeling. Like your energy was being sucked out while at the same time replenished. Your entire body feeling great. He was so good at this. You cooed and groaned. Adam was playing you like a fiddle, his fingers rubbing over the fur on your back, the skin on your chest, pinching, scratching, and grabbing. Your purring got louder unintentionally, but that just caused him to become more bold. He gently nipped at your neck. "Good kitty," Adam mused, before pushing you onto the cushion of the sofa. "I hope you're ready for this, Pussycat." Thank you for watching my video up until the very end. But before I say goodbye, I would like to thank all of my lovely darling butlers and stewards. Melophia, Anonymous Weep, Sleepy Town, Angel, Zachary, Nicodemus D, Ash Wisdom, Ikea, The Tribute, AJ Anime Girl. Thank you for your support. And one last thing, I would like to thank all of my other lovely mates for being lovely supporters. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.